What's up? Welcome into your daily Buckeye Blitz for a Wednesday. It's the day before Thanksgiving, pre-turkey, turkey day. We are getting ready for this big, huge monster rivalry game this weekend. Today's your matchup preview. It's Michigan week. That's all. What else do you need to know, right? It's Turkey week, then it's Michigan week. But I wanted to get you guys some shows loaded up, so you have something to listen to instead of listening to your relatives and their political views, which nobody asks their opinion on. Anyway, let's get into it here. Don't forget to hit the buckeyecast.com. Take advantage of the sale. Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, all the days. Feel free to hit us up. Everything is on sale, so get in there and get some merch, get some swag, and enjoy. So let's get into it. The Buckeyes enter 11-0, number one in the country still from last night's rankings. No surprise there. We got the Big Ten championship berth most likely. College football playoff berth, number one seed we're going for. It's what we really want. And then we can finally snap this bullshit little tiny losing streak. Looking in 20 years, mark my words right now, in 20 years, these cheater fans are going to look back and call this 4-year streak, winning streak, they're going to call that the highlight of their fucking program, the highlight of the last 50 years. Because otherwise, they're getting crushed and smoked if you really look at the history and going forward. So, Michigan is at 9-2, ranked number 18. I think they moved up to 15 or 16 this week in the CFP rankings. The Buckeyes have nobody on their roster that has beaten Michigan. No gold pants for anybody on the team. So I love that Ryan Day said this week in his press conference that fun is kicking ass, and that's what we want to do on Saturday. I like it. A little bit of motivation there. Maybe possible bulletin board material, who knows. But the Buckeyes, some key stats here just to compare the two teams' offense. The Buckeyes putting up 440 yards per game, 38 points per game. Julian Sayin, 79% completion percentage, 27 touchdowns, just the 4 picks. The Buckeye defense, number one in college football. 206 yards per game allowed, 7.6 points per game allowed. Number one red zone defense. Number two rushing defense. Then the cheaters, they're putting up 420 yards per game on offense, 223.5 rushing yards per game. That's top 10 nationally. Their defense allowing 302.5 yards per game and 94 yards rushing per game. So their red zone defense, though, is a huge weakness. 109th nationally. So you don't want me to go through Underwear's stats, do you? They're not even close to saying. I think we know who has the edge there, right? Okay. So let's talk about the Buckeye offense, some storylines. Wide receiver health, that's the million-dollar question, right? Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate both missed the Rutgers game. Day says they are day-to-day, but both are expected to practice and trending towards playing. If they're active, Ohio State has a massive mismatch against Michigan's shaky secondary. I think we get at least Jeremiah starts. Carnell, I'm on the fence, 50-50. I could go either way, a coin flip there on Carnell. But Bo Jackson's first game in the game, he has 3 100-yard games of his last 4. Now, the Michigan defense is good up front, but not the same caliber as the last few years. This is not Grant and Graham from previous seasons. So, yes, the run game has decided, well, coincidentally, the leading team in rushing has won the game. I don't think that is deciding the winner of this game. It just it's coincidence, that's all. This is Julian Sayin's biggest stage yet since week 1. He's the most efficient quarterback in the country. He's going to face some exotic pressure that he hasn't seen all year. Michigan's path to winning is forcing Julian Sayin into a couple mistakes, which Ohio State quarterbacks have done, have obliged over the last couple of years. Will Howard, McCord, Honda. So let's talk about the defense here. Can the Buckeyes erase Michigan's identity? Meaning the Buckeyes give up 2.7 yards per carry in the running game. They've held 10 straight opponents under 100 rushing yards. That's the first time in program history. But Michigan's running game is legit. Now, Jordan Marshall, he's a little banged up, but expected to play. Their O-line is physical, and this is the matchup that's going to decide the game, right? I'm not worried about our corners versus Michigan wide receivers. Michigan's receivers, Donovan McCulley and Andrew Marsh, are probably the best duo that the Buckeyes will see, but they go against Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate in practice every day. So I don't think so. The corners have to be clean and avoid those PIs, the panic grabbing, turn back for the ball, don't just run through a receiver. And the explosive plays are going to decide whether this stays a bloodbath or becomes a war. The nickel situation with Lorenzo Styles' injury is the biggest unknown right now for the defense. He re-injured his shoulder versus Rutgers. Ryan Day says he's going to practice today, but I don't have an update. That was yesterday. So the options if Lorenzo can't go, Bryce West, he came in, played decent versus Rutgers. That's kind of your safe option, but I think the Buckeyes are going to bring in their same rotation. They're going to bring Jermaine Matthews down into the nickel from the outside. Then they bring in Devin Sanchez at the outside corner. It's riskier. Teams have targeted Devin quite a bit, but Devin has the size and has more talent. Plus, Andrew Marsh will be lining up at the slot a lot of times. So you want Jermaine with his experience and his size lining up against Marsh. Also, expect a lot of three linebackers for the Buckeye defense going against Michigan's heavy personnel and heavy run game. So, and they're going to test where the freshmen. They're going to test Sanchez. They're going to test the slot if it's Jermaine. So those guys will be called upon to make plays. Some players to watch for the cheaters. Bryce Underwood, we know about him, the true freshman quarterback. He's gifted, but only throws fastballs. He's like Nolan Ryan out there. He's not going to have easy windows and big openings to throw through. So this defense will close those things up in a hurry. But if the Buckeyes get to him early, this game is done. It's over. If they can get him on the ground a few times and really slow him down from running, they're cooked. They're done. Andrew Marsh, the wide receiver, he's a freshman star as well. Think about how many freshmen are starting for this team right now. He's a legitimate deep threat. He's got to be accounted for on every snap. But I think we can cover him. If we have to keep a safety over the top and double him, so be it. Make somebody else beat you. Then you got Jordan Marshall we talked about, the running back. He's right now, since Justice Haynes has been out for weeks, he is the go-to guy. He's their engine. If the Buckeyes hold him under 90 yards, then I don't know how they can score 24 points. And I think they're going to need at least 3 touchdowns to score with us. On defense, player to watch, Derek Moore, the defensive end, 9.5 sacks. Michigan's going to move him around to try and attack probably the right side of the Buckeye O-line because who wouldn't? If you've watched Tegra and Phillip Daniels, there's probably some pressure there. So let's talk about some Michigan weaknesses where the Buckeyes can attack. 5 turnovers against Northwestern. Underwood had 3 of those in the fourth quarter alone. They were sloppy against Purdue and Maryland. Their special teams is bad, finally. I mean, they've been solid, but their kicker, Zavada's made 12 of 19, so he's missed some easy ones. Then he'll bury a 60-yarder, right? I mean, this guy makes no sense. The red zone offense is bottom 20 nationally. Penalties are way up in the last month. And then the injuries we talked about. Haynes is out. Bredesen looks like he's doubtful. He's your blocking back in the I formation, and he lines up like at an offset tight end. He's just in there for blocking, really. So he's doubtful. Rob Moore is out, the safety, and, of course, Marshall's dinged up. So This is not the same Michigan roster we've seen over the last few years. This is not loaded with tons of NFL talent right now. They're extremely young. I wanted to touch on their O-line here because I think it's a point that the Buckeyes need to take advantage of. Right tackle, Andrew Sprague, gives up the most pressures on the team. He's given up 17 pressures in 11 games. That's more than one per game on average. So look for him. He's only allowed 1 sack, but he gives up a lot of hurries, a lot of pressures. Evan Link was the original left tackle that started the season. He's out for the rest of the year. He hasn't played in weeks. Then Blake Frazier, he is your current left tackle. Double check him. What's his grade here? A 66 for the left tackle. That's not a great PFF grade. He's given up 8 pressures, and he's played only 340 snaps. So, what else? Jake Granera, he is your right guard. He's allowed 8 pressures. Greg Crippen, the center, has allowed 8 pressures. And the other guards, Ifobi and El Hadi, they have allowed 6 and 4. They don't give up a lot of sacks, but a ton of pressures. As a team, they've only allowed 8 sacks on the season. But Bryce Underwood gets them out of those situations quite a bit with his legs. But yeah, across the board, this O-line is nothing important, nothing to write home about. And their tight end, Klein, is not a great blocker either. So I'm not overly concerned. I think this is where we attack this O-line, and I think we can stop this run game. Their run blocking grades are horrible. Nobody is over 70 except Bredesen, and he's out. Everybody is like Crippen, the center, is a 60 run blocker. Sprague, the right tackle, is a 65. Guanera, the right guard, he's a 69. Nice. Who else? El Hadi is a 62. He's the left guard. Frazier, the right tackle, we talked about, a 64. The tight ends here, Marlon Klein, he's your starter, 62 run blocking. So Zach Marshall, he's a tight end, he's a 57. So I don't see how their run blocking is going to match up against our D-line and our linebackers. So let's talk about keys to the matchup here. I know we're going long. That's what she said, right? She said it. Control the run game on both sides of the ball. If the Buckeyes run effectively and Michigan doesn't, this is a runaway game. This is over early. Explosive plays. The Buckeyes lead the nation in fewest explosive plays allowed on defense. And Michigan needs these explosive plays to win. If they can't, it's over again. You know, they're going to need splash plays like those big breakaway run plays from the running backs, from Marshall and that Kuzla guy. I don't know. Kuzzle, whatever the fuck his name is. Yeah, he looked good against Maryland, right? It's a little different story this week, pal. Then red zone execution. The Buckeye defense is number 1 in America. Michigan red zone offense, 109th. This mismatch could decide the game. Style versus substance. The Buckeyes are deeper, more talented, better coached right now, and Michigan has to make it ugly to survive. I don't care what the weather is like. It has to be a fucking hurricane in there, a blizzard with no ability to throw the ball at all in order for Michigan to have a shot at this. Again, the Buckeyes are deeper. This is what we do. We take teams into the deep waters, like I've talked about. We get you in a headlock in the shallow waters. Then we just start walking towards the deep end and see if you can survive. And, of course, the last key, Julian Sayin has to be poised, patient. This is going to be a tough crowd. Their stadium atmosphere is pretty legit. So Sayin needs to be clean. Can't give them a pick six, a pick deep in your own end zone like we've seen in recent years. I think the Buckeyes are going to win this by 2 scores. Last thing, some intangibles. The Buckeyes haven't won in Ann Arbor since 2019. Ryan Day is 1-4. I don't see a path to us losing. I really don't. But you win this game, you flip the rivalry back, and you punch your ticket to Indy. You lock yourself into the 1 seed in the playoffs. But the pressure is real. The stakes are massive. But the Buckeyes are built for this moment, and that's why they're just sticking to their routine. Even with the holiday, they're going to stick to their routine. No special music, no special, media days or anything like that. Stick to the routine. Let's play our game. Let's go in there with our game plan and execute. You just have to execute. It's on the players at this point. So let me know what you guys think. Yeah, hit me up with your score predictions. And tomorrow we'll do best bets for a turkey day. Make you some bread. Got some Friday games. And then Friday, 5 keys to a Buckeye victory over the Cheaters. So that's all I got for you today. Talk to you tomorrow. Go Bucks.